China is a balanced country, not like India, not like Japan. The golden mean is the path there. Confucian ideology is to remain always in the middle. Neither be an introvert nor an extrovert. Neither think too much of this world nor too much of that world, just remain in the middle. China has not given birth to a religion, just to morality. No religion has been born there. The Chinese consciousness cannot give birth to a religion. It cannot create a seed. All the religions that exist in China have been imported. They have all come from the outside. Buddhism, Hinduism, Mohammedanism, and Christianity have all come from the outside. China is a good soil, but it cannot originate any religion, because to originate a religion, one has to move into the inner world. To give birth to a religion, one has to be like a feminine body, a womb. India is introverted, a feminine country. It is like a womb, very receptive. But if a child remains in the womb forever and forever, and forever, the womb will become the grave. The child has to move out from the mother's womb, otherwise the mother will kill the child inside. He has to escape, to find the world outside, a greater world. The womb may be comfortable, it is. Scientists say we have not yet been able to create anything more comfortable than the womb. The womb is just a heaven. But even the child has to leave that heaven and come outside the mother. Beyond a certain time, the mother can become very dangerous. Then the womb can kill, because it will have become an imprisonment. It is good for a time, when the seed is growing. But then the seed has to be transplanted to the outside world. Bodhidharma looked around, observed the whole world, and found that China had the best soil. It was a middle ground, not extreme. The climate was not extreme, so the tree could grow easily. And China had balanced people. Balance is the right soil for something to grow. Too cold is bad, too hot is bad. In a balanced climate, neither too cold nor too hot, the tree can grow. Bodhidharma escaped with the seed, escaped with all that India had produced. Nobody was aware of what he was doing, but it was a great experiment. And he was proved right. In China, the tree grew to vast proportions. But although the tree became vaster and vaster, no flowers grew. Flowers did not come, because flowers need an extroverted country. Just as a seed is an introvert, so a flower is an extrovert. The seed is moving inward, the flower is moving outward. The flower is like male consciousness. It opens to the outer world and releases its fragrance to this outside world. Then the fragrance moves on the wings of the wind to the farthest possible corner of the world. To all directions, the flower releases the energy contained in the seed. It is a door. Flowers would like to become butterflies and escape from the tree. In fact, that is what they are doing, in a very subtle way. They are releasing the essence of the tree. The very meaning, the significance of the tree to the world. They are great sharers. A seed is a miser, confined to himself, and a flower is a spendthrift. Japan was needed. Japan is an extroverted country. The very style of life and consciousness is extroverted. Look. In India, nobody bothers about the outside world very much. About clothes, houses, the way one lives. Nobody bothers. That is why India has remained so poor. If you are not worried about the outside world, how can you become rich? If there is no concern to improve the outside world, you will remain poor. And the Indian is always very serious, always getting ready to escape from life. with Buddhas talking about how to become perfect dropouts from existence itself. Not only from society, but ultimate dropouts from existence itself. The existence is too boring. For the Indian eye, life is just a gray color. Nothing interesting in it, everything just boring, a burden. One has to carry it somehow because of past karma. Even if an Indian falls in love, he says it is because of past karma one has to pass through it. Even love is like a burden one has to drag. India seems to be leaning more toward death than life. An introvert has to lean toward death. That's why India has evolved all the techniques for how to die perfectly. How to die so perfectly that you are not born again. Death is the goal, not life. Life is for fools, death is for those who are wise. However beautiful a Buddha or a Mahavira may be, you will find them closed around them. A great aura of indifference exists. Whatever is happening, they are not concerned at all. Whether it happens this way or that way makes no difference. Whether the world goes on, living or dies, it makes no difference. In this tremendous indifference, flowering is not possible. In this inner confined state, flowering is impossible. Japan is totally different. With the Japanese consciousness, it is as if the inner doesn't exist. Only the outer is meaningful. Look at Japanese dresses. All the colors of flowers and rainbows, as if the outer is very meaningful. Look at an Indian when he is eating, and then look at the Japanese. Look at an Indian when he takes his tea, and then the Japanese. A Japanese creates a celebration out of simple things. Taking tea, he makes it a celebration. It becomes an art. The outside is very important. Clothes are very important, relationships are very important. You cannot find more outgoing people in the world than the Japanese. Always smiling and looking happy. To the Indian they will look shallow, they will not look serious. Indians are the introverted people. And the Japanese are the extroverts, they are opposites. A Japanese is always moving in society. The whole Japanese culture is concerned with how to create a beautiful society. How to create beautiful relationships in everything, in every minute thing. How to give them significance. Their houses are so beautiful. Even a poor man's house has a beauty of its own. It is artistic, it has its own uniqueness. It may not be very rich. But still it is rich in certain sense because of the beauty, the arrangement. The mind that has been brought to every small, tiny detail. Where the windows should be, what type of curtain should be used. How the moon should be invited from the window, and from where. Very small things, but every detail is important. To the Indian, nothing matters. If you go to an Indian temple, it is without any windows, there is nothing, no hygiene. No concern with air, ventilation, nothing. Even temples are ugly, and anything goes dirt, dust, nobody bothers. Just in front of the temple, you will find cows sitting, dogs fighting, people praying. Nobody bothers. No sense of the outer, they are not at all concerned with the outer. Japan is very concerned with the outer, just at the other extreme. Japan was the right country. And the whole tree of Zen was transplanted in Japan. And there it blossomed in thousands of colors. It flowered.